So, what exactly is a contestability period and how does it work? Well, hello, darlings. Let's talk about this. Now, in order to understand contestability, let's understand the term from which it comes contest, emphasis on the second syllable. Now, to contest something means that you oppose it for any reason, but you are standing in opposition. Now, then, the contestability period in life insurance means that that is a period of time, typically 2 years, when the life insurance carrier can investigate the terms of your life insurance policy and contest it for any reason that they have found misstatement of facts. Okay? Now, that doesn't even mean that you intended to misstate the facts, okay? They can, if they find that something has not been correct and it even has skipped past underwriting, they can change the terms of your policy. Remember now, a policy is a contract, and if they found that you have given some information that was not correct, even if you didn't mean to, they can reduce the coverage, increase the premiums, or completely cancel your policy. Now, the incontestability clause means that after that initial 2 year period, typically, of the contestability period, a carrier cannot deny the claims of your policy for any reason other than a lapsed policy, meaning that the policy, maybe the premiums have not been paid and the policy has now expired, okay? However, what you should know is that this typically has to do with if you just accidentally didn't give correct information. Maybe you forgot, or maybe you thought you were 175 pounds, but it turns out you're 195 pounds, and that would have made a difference. We're not talking about those kinds of things. If it is found that you have committed fraud, and remember, fraud begins at the intention to deceive. So if you thought that you were going to withhold information and it got by underwriting and it got past the agent, broker, and even carrier in that initial phase, in that 2 year period or outside of it, fraudulent activity can be handled. Remember now, you can get into some serious legal difficulty for fraud, but on the life insurance end, your policy can be canceled. As plain and simple as that, even outside of the contestability period. It can be canceled if you are alive, and if, even as we said before, it is found that you have died and it's outside of the contestability period, but your policy was found to have been fraudulently in place because of information that you intended and purposefully gave to deceive, your policy claim can be denied, okay? Now, also, let's talk about something that's in the news lately, unfortunately, the idea of suicide. In this, there's also an exclusionary period, and typically that's a period where a carrier will say, if someone commits suicide within the first typically 2 years, then they won't pay out, right, necessarily to your beneficiaries for that cause of death. But right now, that's not even the biggest issue. The biggest issue is, please don't do it. Somebody loves you. Somebody cares about you, and life always gets better. And I can tell you from someone who's been through many dark places that if you can get through that dark place and come out on the other side, you realize that the dark place wasn't meant to hurt you. Sometimes major lessons were learned, and sometimes it was a necessary cocoon. And on the other side of that, you reach your goals that you always claimed you wanted to reach. So for those who are thinking that maybe you will harm yourself, don't do it. But if you thought to get a life insurance policy and then harm yourself, especially within that exclusionary period, you're not really benefiting anyone anyway, because the carrier can deny your claims. Well, I hope this has helped you understand a few things. And finally, if your policy is canceled for any reason, whether it's the contestability period, whether you have intentionally or unintentionally given false information, if you somehow have to pick up a new policy, guess what? The contestability period starts again. That clock restarts. So contact me if you have questions. Christine Jones, 888-390-8267, licensed life insurance broker.